the forgotten village of Greymoor, nestled between ancient woods and eternal mist, the people spoke in hushed voices about the Hollow Woman. She lived alone in a rotting cottage at the edge of Blackwood Forest. It was said that no birds sang near her home. No animals stirred. The trees grew warped, like they were trying to crawl away from her. No one knew her true name. She had lived in Greymoor longer than any written record. People aged, generations passed, and yet the witch remained, unchanged, skeletal, and hungry. Her survival depended on a terrible secret. She fed on human souls. Not the body, not the blood. The soul, that shimmering essence of memory, identity, and life. A touch from her gnarled, black-nailed hand, and it would be drawn out like a vapor, leaving the victim a twitching, blank-eyed husk. She didn't do it often, only once every few years, just enough to survive, just enough to keep the hunger from twisting her completely into shadow. But the villagers remembered. They always remembered. Mothers whispered her name to frighten their children into obedience. Do as you're told, or the Hollow Woman will take you in the night. And sometimes she did. The last harvest one bleak October, the air grew colder earlier than usual. The crops failed. Animals died without reason. Children began having night terrors, screaming about shadows with burning eyes and voices like cracking bone. The villagers suspected the witch again, but they dared not approach. They had a pact. Leave her alone, and she will take only the lost ones, the drunks, the mad, the outcasts. But this time, something was different. That autumn, the witch was starving. She had waited too long. Her last victim had been a foolish traveler who wandered too close the previous winter. The soul had sustained her, yes, but not fully. Something inside her was unraveling, something old and dark that had slept beneath her skin for centuries. One stormy night, she ventured deeper into the forest. She needed a soul, any soul, and that's when she found the boy. The boy in the woods. His name was Elias, and he had run away from home after his father beat him in a drunken rage. He was 10, small for his age, with a wild mess of dark hair and a thin, pale face. The witch found him asleep at the base of a gnarled tree, curled up under a cloak of fallen leaves. His soul shimmered like candlelight in the dark, young, pure, and bright. Her hands trembled with hunger. But as she reached out to draw the soul from his body, something happened. The boy woke up and looked her in the eyes. Not with fear, not with confusion, with recognition. You're not supposed to be here, Elias said, voice hollow, too calm. The witch froze. For the first time in hundreds of years, she felt fear, because there was something wrong with the boy. His soul wasn't right. It flickered like lightning beneath a dark sea, unstable and ancient. And then he smiled. Not a child's smile, but the smile of something wearing a child. I've been waiting for you. The forest changed around her. The trees twisted. The wind fell silent. The sky blinked out like a candle. She tried to back away, but her feet sank into the earth like it was swallowing her. What are you? She rasped, her voice like rusted iron scraping bone. The boy stood and walked toward her, eyes now entirely black. I am what feeds on your kind, the thing said. You've taken souls for so long, but you forgot they belong to something greater. The witch screamed as the earth cracked open beneath her. Roots lashed up like skeletal arms, wrapping around her limbs, pulling her into the soil. The boy stepped closer. You are a vessel, an empty shell, a thief of light. The witch tried to pull away, but her power failed. She tried to draw a soul from the boy, but found nothing to grasp. It was like trying to drink from a well of darkness that had no bottom. Then he placed a small hand on her chest and pushed. Her scream echoed through eternity. She fell into the earth, but not into death, into something else. She found herself standing in a vast, gray desert. The sky was ash. The wind whispered names she had stolen centuries ago. Faces stared at her from the sand. Souls she had devoured, now trapped within her. They began to pull free. One by one, they clawed their way out of her. A mother from 1781, a traveling bard from 1845, a girl who vanished during a wedding in 1912. They tore themselves from her ribs, her eyes, her mouth. With each soul, she shrunk, diminished, undone. And then he appeared again, the thing wearing Elias. "This is your cage now," he said. "You will remain here for every soul you took." "I did what I had to," she screamed, voice barely human. "To survive." "Survival is no excuse for consumption," he whispered. "Now you will starve forever." And with that, he vanished, and the souls turned toward her, smiling. After back in the village, the people awoke to a strange silence. The fog lifted for the first time in centuries. The forest grew green again. Birds returned. And Elias? He returned home that morning, barefoot, eyes clear, hair matted with dew. No one remembered what had happened. Not fully. Just fragments. Dreams. The vague feeling that something evil was gone. They took Elias in, fed him, clothed him, but they never noticed that he never aged. He stayed 10. Always. And in the quiet of night, sometimes he walked to the edge of Blackwood Forest and listened. Because beneath the soil, she still screamed, trapped forever in the prison of the devoured. The hollow woman, now truly hollow, an empty soul in a grave of her own making. And Elias, he smiled, because sometimes even monsters must answer to something worse.